What is up, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry I took a slight hiatus. I got a little busy with my personal life and got this bad boy, so it took a couple days. And as soon as I hooked that up and this little thing over here, I had to redo all of my audio, and let me tell you, that is a difficult task for a man like me. Alright, especially when it's all digital and all the equalizing and balancing and all that audio tech stuff. I got no idea how to do that. I might be smart, but I am not that kind of intelligent. But anyways, today I want to talk about infrastructure and its susceptibility in our country and how we are witnessing it unfold as we live day to day. People seem to have already forgotten about the SolarWinds hack that had happened a couple of years, or beginning of 2020, or the end of 2020? Yeah, end of 2020. And that kind of concerns me. I talked to people around me and they have heard of it, but that's about it. Really know what was exposed or what really happened. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. We're obviously going to talk about the gas pipeline that was just hacked and shut down, and any other interesting things I want to cover. If you haven't been to this channel before, I am just some dude in his room who talks about stuff he thinks is important. If you think what I think is important, then leave it in the comments below. If you like what I'm doing, leave a like. If you don't like what I'm doing, dislike it. Feedback is the number one thing. Comments help the algorithm. If you want to actually help me out, throw a comment down there and it will boost my video in the algorithm. Okay? But let's get into this. And I even had to move my camera. This is weird. I'm gonna have to get used to this. Oh, where'd I go? Here I am. All right. Yeah, we don't need that. Sorry, I was just messing with that. But yeah. So who was behind the SolarWinds hack? I mean, you'd see if you've been following the news lately, like this past week. The oil hack has already been dubbed a Russian hack, like usual. The mainstream media is always blaming Russia for everything, and so much so that we never actually know when Russia does something. It's always like, Russia, I guess. You know, it's an easy answer. But I think it's more complicated than that, or something. That can't just be Russia. I mean, we have many enemies. The United States has many enemies. China, Iran, Russia, you know, and those are probably the biggest three, at least adversaries for. I don't think Russia is an enemy, but they're definitely competition. China, on the other hand, I feel like is the Communist Party of China is our enemy. But as of right now, we're in this sort of Cold War, and if you don't think we're in a Cold War, what are you on? I don't know. Anyways, nobody knows who did the SolarWinds hack. If you ask the officials who actually are behind defending it. The US government is still trying to assess the damage from a massive 9-month-long computer hack on some of our government's most classified networks. You see, the way they did this, instead of just hacking into like the FBI or the CIA, they hacked into SolarWinds, which was a company that would sort of. A lot of companies used SolarWinds to organize their work, I guess. Something along the lines. Like it's a software company that a lot of businesses use, and corporations and like the governments. So all you got to do is hack you got to hack the person who has the keys to the kingdom, right? You don't have to hack the whole kingdom. So you get into SolarWinds and you get every single one of those companies and every single person that they have information on. You get all of that data if you get the one company, right? And 9 months long. It had been going on before we figured it out, at least, well, until it was released to the public. Yeah, the hacking operation disclosed publicly Sunday began as far back as March, which was March of 2019. Yeah, no, 2020, sorry. March 2020. I keep getting those years mixed up. But when much of the federal government and many of America's largest companies installed a software update on their IT networks that included malware called Sunburst, which could lie dormant for weeks to avoid detection. Yeah, I don't care what the security expert said. Yeah, the infected software came from a company called SolarWinds in Austin, Texas, which provides computer network monitoring services to the White House, Pentagon, Secret Service, and most of America's Fortune 500 companies. After the hack, the SolarWinds customer page has been deleted from the company website. I didn't read that last part before I started the video. The hack was so bad that on Tuesday, the Pentagon on Tuesday had to order an emergency shutdown of an internal communications network that handles classified material, something that had reportedly never happened before. So within that 9 months, does that mean that whoever hacked got all of our classified intel that they were communicating between each other? Is that what that means? If so, that's bad. Okay, that's really bad. But man, it's crazy. The world is crazy right now. The hack was freaking. How do they do this? The mainstream media is calling this a Russian hack, but officials don't really know. Hey, I'm glad that the Christian Perspective, CBN News, good on you. I'm glad they said that. They've only said it looks like a foreign nation state and that it could include China. China is incredibly active in terms of nefarious cyber activity. I don't know if it's Salufo said. Whoever the hackers were and whatever they were after, it could take months or even years before experts have the answers. So, yeah, what we're looking at here is unprecedented. We've never experienced anything like that. The amount of data that was stolen is astronomical, and odds are you were included in that in some way, shape, or form. And this is a tactic that is like 5th generational warfare. Like, if we go to war right now with almost any country, it's not going to be bombs and not going to be nuclear war until it reaches a boiling point. Okay, up until then, it's just going to be 4th and 5th generational warfare, meaning cyber attacks, troll farms where they have like Russian bots go on forums and troll people, or they go on and radicalize people. That's why there's this huge push for socialism right now. What happened? Did everybody kind of forget the Cold War? Did everybody kind of forget that communism is like evil? Like, it's like it never has ever worked? Like, what happened? If you don't think we're currently at war, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself, man. But I don't know. Regional emergency declaration issued over pipeline shut down after cyber attack. Yeah. And this is going to be just the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion. Just think about all the dams. Think of every power station or substation or factory or anything that uses software to operate nuclear plants, solar plants, wind farms, the whole power grid. All of that is hackable, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I couldn't do it, but it's really crazy how many of these places have zero security, like absolutely none. And if they do, the password is like password or something, you know? And it's really, really concerning to me. And I think that we need to have an entire, like, and the thing is the president's recent infrastructure plan that was supposed to fix most of that, it was something like 6 or 8% of the funding from that bill actually went to building new things and infrastructure, and the rest went to like social programs for reparations and shit. Man. We're like ripping our own country apart. Thrown away American values, and this is what we got left. But the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration on Sunday issued a regional emergency declaration in 17 states and the District of Columbia in response to the shutdown of one of the largest pipelines in the United States, which supplies around 45% of fuel consumed in the East Coast. 45%. The regional emergency declaration from the Department of Transportation lifts restrictions for motor carriers and drivers who are providing assistance to areas that are suffering shortages of gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other refined petroleum products. Hey, Joe, there's your jobs. Oh, gosh. Like, well, now that we have no gas pipeline, since we got rid of the freaking, what was the pipeline that he just canceled up north for Canada. Now that we don't have that, I mean, that would have been useful, unless but yeah, now we got all these guys out there driving trucks, burning gas to deliver gas. Nice job saving the environment, Joe. What the hell? Come on, man. His jobs report was something like 200 and something thousand jobs. And they were hoping for like 1.2 million new jobs. And his jobs report was just atrocious. But I'm not going to get into that. But the regional emergency declaration affects the following territories: Alabama, Arkansas, the District of Columbia, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Declaration grants drivers and carriers reliefs from Parts 390 through 399 of Title 49 Code of Federal Regulations, except as restricted herein. So, truckers are probably stoked. I mean, they're gonna get a lot of work, or they're really pissed because they got a lot of extra work. But yeah. The Colonial Pipeline said Friday it was shutting down more than 5,000 miles of pipeline after a ransomware attack on its system. Experts have warned that gas prices may begin to rise if the pipeline is not operational within the next few days. As of Sunday, the pipeline has been out of operation for 3 days. That was Sunday. Today's Tuesday, so it's been 5 days now. On Sunday, it was reported that the investigation of the cyber attack that shut down the pipeline had been linked to a criminal ransomware gang called Darkseid. And ransomware is when a nefarious character hacks into something and leaves a like downloadable file, or a downloaded like it leaves a file on there, or it tricks you into downloading the file to your computer, and it will collect a bunch of information or passwords and such, and then or it'll even lock your computer, or in order to unlock it or get that information returned or not blackmailed with it, you have to pay a certain amount of money or do whatever the ransom might be that the nefarious character wants. So I don't know if the pipeline was shut down waiting on the ransom to be filled, or if they're gonna try and unhack it, but I don't know. But here we go with Russia again. Authorities have tied the cyber attack on Georgia-based Colonial Pipeline system to a ransomware gang known as Darkseid. But who is the group and what is its aim? The FBI confirmed Monday that Darkseid was the group responsible for the attack on Friday that forced the shutdown of pipelines responsible for carrying gasoline from Texas to the Northeast. The attack is ongoing due to the involvement of ransomware, labeling the sophistication of the tools very high. Very sophisticated. They basically jiggle every handle on the internet, the source said. If you're not hardening your system, you could be the next victim. This is why it's important. And I'm not gonna do an ad like every other freaking person on YouTube, but this is why it's actually important to use a VPN. This is why it's actually important to get trustworthy antivirus or an anti-malware and anti-spyware software. I'm not going to recommend any of them just because that's not what I do on this channel, but I myself use ExpressVPN just because I got a good deal on it. But very important, you should use a VPN at this point in life. It's become crazy the amount of information that is collected on you, regardless of whether you're going to nefarious websites or suspect places on the internet. It doesn't really matter. When you walk around, your phone is sending your location data to whoever is like your internet service provider, your phone line carrier, or whatever apps use your location, this, that, and the other thing. You got a Fitbit, that thing's tracking your heart rate. Hey, 20 years from now, they could be selling that information that they collect from your wrist to insurance providers so that they can hike up your rates when they find that you've gained 25 pounds. Pretty weird, huh? Pretty sus. Not something I'm into. But Darkseid announced its existence in August 2020, making it a relatively new organization, though its operators appear to be experienced. It looks like someone who's been there, done that. Lior Dev, chief executive of the Boston-based security firm Cybereason, told Reuters. Div noted that at least 10 of his company's customers have fought off break-in attempts. Okay, from Darkseid since it appeared.
Let's bring in Jason Katz.
Let's not. The group will harvest data from a victim's server, then encrypt it and request a ransom. The group will then upload the data to a leak website on the dark web, which will publish should it not receive the ransom, risking sensitive data loss for any victim organization. Darkseid has advertised stolen documents from more than 80 companies across the United States and Europe on its website. Notably, I'm not even gonna read that. I don't think they're freaking, just because they don't. See, this is what I don't like about the mainstream media. Notably, the group has seemingly avoided companies based or associated with former Soviet bloc nations, suggesting a link to one of those countries. Why? They hack any Antarctican freaking companies? How about Brazil or Venezuela? Literally any other country. How? So you're saying that they've hacked every other country besides old Soviet loyal countries? It's just like, why even put that sentence in the article? You know, sorry, I don't mean to rant, but thanks, Fox News, for pissing me off. Darkseid is no different from its counterparts, but is indeed the latest representation of the rising ransomware as a corporation trend. Digital Shadows posted its research on its research blog. Digital Shadows noted that Darkseid's operation is hardly innovating. That steal from the rich, give to the poor image came under threat after the most recent attack. I didn't even read this tweet. Let's see what the tweet says. So this is from Darkseid. We are apolitical. We do not participate in geopolitics, do not need to tie us with a defined government, and look for our motives. Our goal is to make money and not creating problems for society. From today, we introduce moderation and check each company that our partners want to encrypt to avoid social consequences in the future. For recovery companies, some companies, for example, Cowaware, warned their customers about our fictional link with Iran. It was a mistake and led to the rupture of our relationship. If you tell your customers the same thing, we will find out about it. We will add you to the blacklist that is displayed on the payment page. Do not repeat the stupid and emotional mistakes of other companies. We are a large group and you should not quarrel with us. We also remind of registration and communicating from your personal accounts, so you'll get a much better result in the negotiations. They sound like terrorists, minus the political part. I mean, sorry, they sound like just thieves. Like, I don't know. And yeah, this tweet here, reminder that Darkseid isn't a single group. It's a ransomware as service. So you have the creators of the ransomware and its infrastructure, and then affiliates partners who conduct attacks using the rented ransomware and then share a portion of paid ransom with Darkseid creators. Yeah. It seems like it's going to be a really big, if not already a big trend. Like, I know that there were small gangs of people running a business where they just stole packages, and they would have kids go and steal packages and pay them $50 a package no matter what was in it. And like, apparently paying that overhead was worth it in the long run because they would get worthwhile packages or something. I don't know. But yeah. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack and the SolarWinds hack were all but inevitable. Why national cyber defense is a wicked problem. Yeah, I'm just gonna read these key takeaways. They don't really go into much. That's more than that. But there are no easy solutions to shoring up U.S. national cyber defenses. Software supply chains and private sector infrastructure companies are vulnerable to hackers. Many U.S. companies outsource software development because of a talent shortage, and some of the outsourcing goes to companies in Eastern Europe that are vulnerable to Russian operatives. U.S. national cyber defense is split between the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security, which leaves gaps in authority. So those are just some of the issues. It doesn't even scratch the surface. If another superpower or another even regular power in the world wants to take the United States down, it'll be through the power grid, in my opinion. It'll be either through the power grid or through cultural diversion. Like, they're just going to change our culture until we're not America anymore. But that's the long con. But again, Russia. While U.S. officials believe that Russia-linked entity or Russian individuals are responsible for the attacks, they have not yet finalized their designation on which actors are responsible. This is in reference to SolarWinds Hack, sorry. But I just wanted to pull this up. Like, why is this paragraph even here? Let's just go through it real quick, okay? The National Security Council has decided to convene two meetings daily with the Cyber Response Group to determine the scope, scale, and impact of the hack, they added. In the first of its meetings on Monday, officials came closer to a determination that a Russian-backed group was responsible, but forensic investigations are ongoing, the official told CNN. And I've looked. I can't find any new reports on this. It's been 5 months, 6 months, and I can't find any new info on this. So, like, where's your proof that it was Russia? Meanwhile, Joe Biden's putting sanctions on Russia, when we don't even know who did it? That just seems ignorant. And I don't know. Unless they know something that we don't and they're not sharing it and I can't find it on the internet. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Don't attribute to malice what you can to ignorance. That's for sure. But I don't know. What do you guys think? You think we're at war right now? I do. Do you think that China's gonna steal our lunch? Do you think that this is domestic? Do you think people in the United States are doing these hacks? Or do you think it's a foreign entity? What do you think? Let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Do all of it, please. It means a lot, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm about to go on vacation anyways, and I probably won't upload another video until Tuesday next week, so 1 week from today. I might do one tomorrow, depending on how I feel, but Tuesday next week. Thanks for tuning in, appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.